And join me now for more ABC News Deputy Political Director Averi Harper. So, Averi, where does the Pennsylvania Senate race stand right now, and what are you going to be watching for in tonight's debate?
Right. If you look at 538's analysis of this race, it says that John Fetterman's slightly favored in this race. But look, there's only 2 weeks left until Election Day, and there's little room for error. So tonight, I think, like many folks, I'm going to be watching to see how John Fetterman performs after he suffered a stroke. We know that both candidates will have closed captioning to accommodate for the issues that Fetterman has faced since he suffered that stroke. I think in terms of the issues that we'll hear both candidates talk about, I think they're going to go head-to-head on issues like abortion, on the economy, and especially they are going to also talk about crime. Philadelphia is a major city center. Pittsburgh, also a major city center in the state. We know that Dr. Oz has been hitting Fetterman on that, so that's what I'll be watching.
And we saw those highlights from Florida's gubernatorial debate. Democratic Rep. Charlie Crist challenging Republican Governor Ron DeSantis on whether he'd run for president in 2024. What has the reaction been to this debate?
Right. Well, there was that moment where Chris said, can you look Floridians in the eye and say that you would serve a full 4-year term in Florida? And Governor Ron DeSantis could not answer the question. He froze for a little bit before delivering a one-liner where he referred to Charlie Crist as an old donkey. But I think it's really indicative of what many folks have been talking about in the past months. We've seen Ron DeSantis leave his state very often. He goes and he campaigns for Republicans across the country in some of these big battlegrounds. He puts himself in the middle of some of the biggest cultural issues, the biggest hot button issues, things like abortion, immigration, educational issues. And so we could very well see Governor Ron DeSantis run for president. But I think that is what, folks are going to be talking about. That was definitely the buzziest moment of this debate. But you have to remember that there's only one Democratic candidate or one Democratic official that has been elected statewide in the state of Florida. And so for Chris, this is still going to be an uphill battle.
So abortion was also brought up during the debate. No surprise. Let's take a look at the back and forth.
And you're taking away from all these other issues because you don't want to talk about taking away a woman's right to choose. You don't ever want to talk about it. And that's on the ballot in this election.
That's time,
and you've even signed a bill that would take away their right in cases of rape and incest. It's unconscionable.
Congressman,
So what'd you make of that? And is abortion bringing Florida voters to the polls?
Well, abortion is definitely a galvanizing issue across the country and in Florida as well, but that doesn't necessarily just translate to support for Democrats who, by and large, are pro-abortion access. There are also folks on the other side of the aisle, Republicans who are anti-abortion, who are also galvanized and motivated by this conversation about access to abortion rights. Ron DeSantis has not really spoken about abortion very much on the trail as of late. And I think it is really indicative of the fact that it is an issue that could motivate Democrats to turn out.
And Republicans have made major gains in the polls recently. Why do you think that is? And what about their message? Do you think it's resonating with voters now?
There has been a shift away from talking about reproductive rights access on the part of Republicans. They have been hammering issues about the economy. The fact remains that for many Americans across the country, they are struggling to keep up with the costs of living. Things like, putting gas in your gas tank, keeping a roof over your head, food on the table. And so Republicans have been able to hammer Democrats on that fact.
All right, Averi Harper. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks. Thanks
14
so much.
days.
That's right. Who's counting? We all are.
Me, I am counting.
I know. I'm right there with you. Thanks, Averi.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.